Malala has become a young woman to be reckoned with. On Tuesday, October 9, 2012, a school bus was driving on a dirt road in Swat Valley, Pakistan. The bus was stopped, and a young man approached the bus, and another swung on the tailgate. He leaned in right over two young girls and asked, "Who is Malala?" No one said anything, but several girls looked at one girl, the only girl who did not have her face covered. The man lifted the gun and fired 3 shots, hitting this girl in the head at point-blank range. This was the Taliban asking, "Who is Malala?" Malala Yousafzai never gave up her voice, even after the Taliban tried to kill her. Malala has become a young woman to be reckoned with. This is demonstrated by my 3 main points. First, Malala is a daughter. Second, Malala is a courageous young woman. And third, Malala is an advocate for education. I would like to begin my celebration of this courageous young girl by first explaining the obstacles that stood before Malala as a girl growing up in the Swat Valley of Pakistan. First, Malala is a daughter. During a TED Talk in March of this year, Swadin Yousafzai talks about his daughter, Malala. There's so much pride in his voice when he talks about his daughter, something that is not heard in Pakistan. Pakistan is a patriarchal society. When a daughter is born, the birth is not celebrated. The child is not welcomed into this world by the mother or the father. But Malala's father was honored. He named her after a female Afghanistan freedom fighter. He knew that this child was going to be something special to the world. In her book, I Am Malala, she describes love and devotion shown by her father. Her father owned a school in the Swat Valley. He admitted Malala at the age of 4. This is a big deal, especially for a girl in a patriarchal society. To her father, Malala had entered the world of dreams and aspirations, where she could explore her potentials for her future life. Malala is a daughter, and she has a father who honors her. When her father was asked during the TED Talk what he has done for his daughter, he simply stated, "I did not clip her wings." There are many people throughout history whose courage has been met by violence, few as young as Malala. Second, Malala is a courageous young woman. In a Time magazine article by Chelsea Clinton, she writes that Malala symbolizes the brave girls of Swat. She knew that her voice was important, so she spoke up for the rights of girls. The Taliban considered Malala a threat. They wanted to teach a lesson to anyone who had the courage to stand up for education, freedom, and self-determination, particularly girls and the women. The shooting did not stop her from speaking out. If anything, it made her more determined to fight for what she believed in. In her book, I Am Malala, she talks about her attackers as young boys following orders. She has no vengeance against these shooters. She feels that her voice has become stronger and that now more people are listening to what is happening all over the world. She's become a spokesperson for the rights of all girls and women fighting for all, even after they tried to silence her. The Taliban still threatens Malala and her family, but she has the courage to continue with her fight. Malala is a courageous young woman. She feels that through peace, dialogue, and education, the world will be a better place. There is no hatred in her, only the courage to fight for what she believes in, which the Taliban did not take away from her. During the Taliban invasion of Pakistan, girls were stopped from going to school. The Taliban felt that education was power, and they did not want women to become powerful. Third, Malala is an advocate for education. In her book, Malala describes going to school every day and being a normal child before the Taliban invasion. She talked of one day becoming a politician to fight for education and the rights of all children to go to school. In her interview with Chelsea Clinton, Malala speaks of raising her voice and speaking out for the girls of Swat. She wants to tell the world how important education is for every child. Malala could not be silenced, even by a bullet. Malala started her campaign for education and women's rights in 2007, and the Taliban could not stop her fight. Malala is an advocate for education. When Malala was 15, a Taliban gunman boarded her bus and shot her in the head. They were attempting to kill her, to teach a lesson to anyone who had the courage to stand up for education and freedom for women. The Taliban almost made Malala a martyr that day. Instead, they made her a symbol of courage and a champion for girls everywhere. Her story is just beginning. Her fight for education and everyone continues. She is a young woman with a voice to be heard. Malala has become a young woman to be reckoned with. I have shown you this with my 3 main points. First, Malala is a daughter. Second, Malala is a courageous young woman. And third, Malala is an advocate for education.